Now, from the area's leader in live local news, this is WYLN News, the area's #1 source of live local news and information in Luzerne, Schuylkill, Carbon, and Columbia counties. WYLN News starts now.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on WYLN News. Here's a recap of our top stories from the week. One person has been reported dead following a Hazleton fire on Saturday. According to officials, crews were dispatched to the scene in the area of 13th Street and Locust Street around 4 o'clock p.m. for a report of a residential structure fire with entrapment. Upon arriving at the scene, police say fire and smoke were seen billowing from the residence. Officials say the fire was quickly extinguished by fire crews, but that a female was found lying on the floor alongside a bed. Police have identified the victim as 83-year-old Kathleen Herschel, who was transported to a nearby hospital and has since passed away. The investigation into the incident is still ongoing. A body found in Hazel Township on Wednesday has been ruled a homicide investigation. According to Pennsylvania State Police Troop N, the human remains were found in a wooded area off of Hazel Township Boulevard. Once the body was located, troopers say they contacted the forensic unit and the Luzerne County coroner. Following a difficult extraction due to the density of the woods, officials say the coroner's office transported the body to the county morgue for an autopsy. According to the coroner, the autopsy revealed that the cause of death was blunt force trauma. Further details regarding the homicide investigation have not yet been released. Stay tuned on WYLN News for updates on this developing story.
A woman has been taken into custody after troopers say she fired multiple shots in a Cunningham Township neighborhood. According to state police, troopers were dispatched to the scene on the 120 block of Middle Avenue around 9:30 p.m. on Monday, July 22nd for reports of an active shooter. Upon arriving at the scene, troopers say Ashley Gregus was heard shooting a .45 caliber handgun from inside the house. State police say Gregus admitted to firing multiple shots that went through windows and walls and struck neighboring homes. A search of the residence revealed 2 AR-style rifles, 3 handguns, and spent casings. Gregus was taken into custody and faces charges of recklessly endangering another person and discharging a firearm into an occupied structure, among other charges. She is currently behind bars at the Columbia County Prison.
A Wilkes-Barre man has been taken into custody after police say he was involved in a stabbing on May 7th. According to police, Jamie Knights was wanted in connection to the murder of Scott Knox, who was stabbed multiple times in an alley near the Moffon Lodge in Wilkes-Barre. Court documents state that Justice Flannery and Scott Knox had been driving together when they went into the alley to meet Knights and 3 other men. Officers say Knox was confronted by all 5 men regarding a drug deal and was punched and stabbed multiple times before managing to flee the scene. Knights was taken into custody in Bath, New York on July 25th and extradited back to Luzerne County on July 29th. Knights is currently behind bars at the Luzerne County Correctional Facility and has been denied bail. His preliminary hearing is scheduled for September 13th.
A former member of the Harwood Volunteer Fire Company in Hazel Township is facing charges after troopers say he fired shots at a Jeep trespassing on the fire company's property. According to state police, the incident occurred on June 15th around 11:30 p.m. Officials say James Lockwood, a volunteer firefighter, told troopers that he had heard the Jeep trespassing on the property and yelled at the occupants to leave the area. According to Lockwood, the Jeep, which was full of teenagers, then turned in his direction and struck him. When questioned by state police, the teen driver told troopers that Lockwood had pointed a firearm at the Jeep and fired 2 shots. The teen also admitted to swerving the vehicle and striking the gunman prior to fleeing the scene. Investigators say a bullet hole was found on the front passenger side of the vehicle. Lockwood has been charged with 3 felony counts of attempted aggravated assault and 1 felony count of shooting at an occupied vehicle, among other charges. His preliminary hearing is scheduled for August 13th. A man charged with escaping from the Luzerne County Correctional Facility has been sentenced to an additional 6 months to a year in prison. According to officials, Billy Partington was mistakenly released from the Luzerne County Correctional Facility on January 26th in place of his half-brother, Drake Partington, who had posted bail. Before being released, officials say Billy signed a form with Drake's name and put on Drake's personal belongings. Billy was arrested and returned to the prison 6 days later on January 31st. Coming up on WYLN News, Chris Fulmer leads us down the path through history with Jim Thorpe, Part 4. Plus, we check in with State Representative Dane Watrow on Watrow's Weekly Update. And stay right here on WYLN. We'll be right back.
My name is Zed and tomorrow's gonna be stormy.
WYLN News is brought to you by Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazleton. Your health deserves a partner. We want your child to be our WYLN Weather Kid. Your child can be our feature weather reporter of the day on WYLN News and WYLN social media posts just by using your smartphone or any video recording device. It's easy. All ages are welcome, from toddlers to teens. To find out how, go to the weather section of WYLNTV.com or look for our post about it on the WYLN News Facebook page. Submit your Weather Kid video today.
Your guide to everything Pocono Mountains is PTN, the Pocono Television Network. Tune in and see all the unique places to stay and things to do in the Pocono Mountains. Watch PTN on WYLN.
Like and follow WYLN News on Facebook for the WYLN News Midday Update, posted daily between noon and 2 p.m. Powered by Lehigh Valley Health Network. When it's serious, there's only one health network with seriously innovative health institutes. Lehigh Valley Health Network, your health deserves a partner. Come shoot at Whitetail Preserve 118 Boulevard Road in Bloomsburg. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicapped accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 or 570-790-8969. Do you like craft beer? Do you want to learn the right way to sample wine? How about checking out a restaurant with a unique flavor or a crazy food challenge? These are just some of the things we are featuring on Wine, Hops, and Road Stops. So, spend some time learning about great wine, great beer, and great food on WYLN TV 35.
1911 saw the birth and mock junk of Edward Pfister. Awarded the Westinghouse Science Award upon his graduation from Villanova in 1937, he would go to work in Altoona on an electrification project for the GG-1, the world's fastest locomotive. In 1940, he would sign up for the Army Signal Corps and would be a major contributor to the development of radar. The timing for the system's introduction could not have been more prescient, as it was the use of radar to detect incoming German planes that helped the British win the Battle of Britain. Pfister, who would also help develop rocket and bomb proximity fuses, will receive a commendation for meritorious civilian service by the Defense Department for his efforts. He died in 2003 and is buried in New Jersey. Mock junk's good times, however, could not last forever. While the Lehigh Canal had managed to survive into the 20th century despite the rise of railroads, by the 1920s it was no longer viable for coal shipments. Transportation between the borough and Laurie Station in Lehigh County ceased in 1922, a decade before the entire canal shut down. Trolley service ended in 1925, and the Switchback Railroad had its last run 7 years later. Soon the once vibrant downtown faced a sharp downturn. Something was needed to turn its image around. And it came from an unlikely source. Jim Thorpe had been one of the greatest athletes of the early 20th century, best known for his exploits in the 1912 Stockholm Olympics and in the early days of the NFL. Memorably, Thorpe was told by Swedish King Gustav V, "You, sir, as the greatest athlete in the world," when the monarch gave him his Olympic medals, to which Thorpe modestly replied, "Thanks, King." Upon Thorpe's death in 1953, his widow Patricia was thwarted in her attempt to have a memorial built for him in his native Oklahoma. Word then reached her that the struggling Mauch Chunk was looking for a way to attract tourists back to the area. Patricia struck a deal with the town's fathers to bury her husband there, even though Thorpe had never actually set foot in Mauch Chunk in his lifetime, in exchange for them renaming the town in his honor. And so, in 1954, Mauch Chunk and East Mauch Chunk merged under the new name Jim Thorpe. 3 years later, Jim Thorpe's body was formally buried in an elaborate mausoleum high above the town Route 903. Despite numerous court cases over the years that have attempted to return him to Oklahoma, Thorpe remains buried in the town now bearing his name today. He looks down over a town that has seen a rebirth into a major tourist destination, one that has lived up to its name, the gateway to the Poconos, and once more thrives as it did before. The late 20th century would also see Jim Thorpe overcome a persistent flooding issue that had plagued it for decades. Floodwaters inundated the borough in 1831, 1841, 1861, 1862, 1901, 1902, 1933, and 1969, just to name a few of the bigger floods. And so in 1972, the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers would build a 50-foot-high earthen dam across Mauch Chunk Creek high above Jim Thorpe, creating the 320-acre Mauch Chunk Lake. The dam passed its first test almost immediately, holding when Hurricane Agnes struck Pennsylvania that year. Today, the lake is a popular local state park, bringing additional delight to Jim Thorpe area residents.
Welcome back to Feel Good Friday. I'm joined by Dr. John. Dr. John, how's it going?
Great, Brian. Again, thank you so much for spending time with us.
Like I said, I love it down here. And we're going to talk about positions of sleep because I know at least you've ingrained in my mind, don't sleep on your stomach.
Very good. That's the #1 rule. 11% of Americans sleep on their stomachs. I'm still shocked to this day, Brian. A woman more than men. A woman will come and say, I have migraines, I sleep on my stomach for 43 years, and I crack my own neck 5 times a day. So what I tell her, you must motivate yourself not to sleep on your stomach, not to crack your own neck. I can't change. So I tell them I was a stomach sleeper until I was 23. I went to my side, Ryan. I would put pillows in front of me. As my brain was addicted to sleeping on its stomach, I would go on the pillows. It took 2 months to eventually stay on my side. So 62% of Americans are side sleepers. And again, I go to grocery stores and a woman will say, my neck has bothered me for 3 years. I ask her, how do you sleep? Well, I sleep on my left side with my arm up under the pillow. So you must bring the arm down in front of you. So side sleeping is fine. On your back with one pillow is best. So the position we sleep in is not only side, front, or face down, but what you do with your arms. Make sure you bring your arms out. Like I sleep on the edge of my pillow so that the rest of the pillow is in front of me. One arm under, one arm on top, and I have another one between my knees. So the position we sleep in could be causing your problem. I want people to analyze how they sleep so they can correct their own problem.
Yep, and it's very important advice because that could throw you out of alignment and many other things. But I'd like to thank Dr. John for joining us on this Feel Good Friday, and we'll see you next time.
Your guide to everything Pocono Mountains is PTN, the Pocono Television Network. Watch PTN on WYLN.
WYLN TV 35 is expanding and is on the hunt for a dynamic salesperson to join our vibrant team. If you've got the passion and the drive, we want to hear from you. Send your resume to the email displayed on your screen. Don't miss this great opportunity.
Are you waking up in the morning with a sore jaw, headaches, maybe even ringing in your ears, all because you're grinding and clenching your teeth at night? That's exactly what was going on with me. I end up going to a dentist and he wants to charge over $600 for a night guard. That's when I found this, the Brooks Night Guard. This was a game changer. It's smaller than other night guards that I tried, which is a good thing because it doesn't make me gag. It could fit on the top or the bottom of the teeth. It's lightweight and super comfortable. Now the Brooks Night Guard redirects the bite force away from the back teeth, reducing jaw pain while still protecting the teeth. This unique design is what makes Brooks Night Guard different from all other traditional grind guards. Go to brooksnightguard.com and order yours today. Your teeth will thank you for it in the morning.
Go to brooksnightguard.com and use the promo code to activate your special TV offer. That's brooksnightguard.com. Order today and take advantage of this special TV offer. Your teeth will thank you for it in the morning.
WYLN programming is online all the time. Visit our website at WYLNTV.com to check out archive shows and a live stream of our broadcasts. And don't forget to visit all of our social media pages for breaking news, weather, and sports. You can also head directly to our YouTube page for all our programming at youtube.com/WYLNTV35. Subscribe and ring that bell so you get notified every time there's a new show available online.
Welcome back to Watro's Weekly Update. I'm here as always with State Representative Dan Watro. Dan, how's it going?
I'm very good, thank you. Staying busy, but a very good summer. I'm glad to be back in the district and here working and being with the people.
Absolutely. It's always a very busy time for you, but always for the good reasons. Just a lot of great stuff going on here. So I know that recently that you paid a trip down to Bethel, talking with some law enforcement down there. About some just like different plans that they had for their different services down there. Can you tell us a bit about what they have planned?
Sure, yeah. So each state police, they have different organizations, I'll call it, and I was at the Philip Miley Lodge. So each troop has their own little organization built in within the state police. I went down there, it was in Bethel, Pennsylvania, right down between like Berks and Schuylkill County, and it's a little bit of a trip, but I had the great opportunity to speak with these law enforcement officers on the things that are most important to them. And that way I could take that back to Harrisburg and really be their voice. So it was just a great time. They had a little cookout, got to spend some time with them, got to speak with them about some legislation going on. And it was just a good way to really connect with our state police and law enforcement and find out what's important and what the tools that they need to be successful and fight for them back down in Harrisburg. So that was earlier in the week, and then we're leading on towards the end of the week and just been staying really busy.
Absolutely. Was that your first time down there visiting them?
Yeah, first time at that location. It was Kaufman's, I think it's like Kaufman's Restaurant, and they have like a mini golf course down there where a couple state troopers were out there playing prior to it, and then they all received hats as their awards for first, second, and third place. So yeah, it was my first time there with the Philip Miley Lodge and those specific state troopers. So it was a really good, just a good way to get good information directly from the law enforcement.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's great that you could represent Philip Miley in that way and just help them out just to have in a way better communication with Harrisburg and understand like what they need to make their citizens safer.
You're 100% right. Just a few months ago, I'd say probably maybe about 2 months ago, I was with Troop in Barracks. That's the Hazleton Barracks, and I was at their meeting in the evening, and the same concerns, same wants, same needs to make sure that they're successful that I got to hear. So I always say when you continue to hear the same thing over and over again, you believe it's to be true. So, and that's one thing, hearing the different troops and different barracks talk about the same exact issue, it gives me better standing. So when I'm down in Harrisburg, we're able to fight as legislators for our communities back home and for overall our state.
I know, speaking of Harrisburg, I know that they recently appointed you to I believe the Orange Task Force program.
Yeah, thank you for bringing that up. Yeah, the Agent Orange Task Force, I'm very actively involved with our veterans, military organizations, our National Guard units here in the Commonwealth, and our leader appointed me to the Agent Orange Burn Pit Task Force, which is very near and dear to me, being that I had family that served in Vietnam and that were exposed and came down with cancer and eye vision problems due to Agent Orange. So that piece is very important. And then the other piece, we talk about burn pits. And the burn pits is another, it's like the modern day of Agent Orange. It's these soldiers were exposed in the Middle East with a lot of burn pits and that now are suffering. A constituent of mine from the Shenandoah borough, who I became very good friends with within the past 2 years, their son passed away due to burn pit exposure. He was a soldier, Army soldier in the Middle East, combat, and he suffered, and as a result he died from that. So our task force that was created, we voted in the House of Representatives unanimously on creating this task force, and this is going to better position Pennsylvania to identify these soldiers that were airmen, Navy, whatever, that were put in these situations and have these elements to say, hey, these are the services provided for you. Here are some resources to better assist them so they could be, just better in the community. And like I said, it's very personal to me, being I did serve in the Middle East as well, and to see that these, I don't care if you're young, you're old, or whatever, to make sure that they have the resources available to them to get the treatment and help that they need and that they deserve.
No, people definitely appreciate just having those services available to them. So
yeah.
Definitely. To switch things over to, I guess, more of a lighter side, I know you were recently at the Schuylkill County Fair down in Schuylkill Haven. So Can you tell us a bit about how that went?
Yes, it was very exciting. I got to meet all the Queen, the Princess, and all the Schuylkill County young women that were awarded these prestigious awards, and I got a picture with them. We put it on social media. So much honor and pride with them. But the fun piece that I got to do yesterday is do a tractor pull. I never was on a tractor before. It was very interesting, to say the least. My wife was there with me, and she was watching it and taking pictures, laughing hysterically. After it was over, which I believe another representative, I'm not going to say cheated, but he had the upper edge on me on that one. I came in fourth place, and that's okay, I guess, for being a first time on a tractor. But it was a John Deere tractor made in America, so I was very excited to get behind it and drive it. After I got off of it, I said to my wife, I said, I would really like one of these. She's like, Dane, no. And she's right. I don't have the land for any of that. But it was very fun to drive. We did a tractor pull. There's this weight that comes behind you, and then it slows you down, bogs you out, so you go for as long as you could go before this weight stops you, and then you can't go. But the guy operating, I think he put the brake on a little bit too soon, and that I lost Representative Torzik by 0.02 seconds.
Oh.
So unfortunately, yeah, a lot of great food, great entertainment. I am a huge Elvis fan, and last night, he's gonna play one more evening down there, I believe. One of the greatest Elvis impersonators that I've ever seen. So that was really good entertainment, good people, good crowds. Schuylkill County is always a good time, just like Luzerne County is as well. I always do say I have the best state house seat that the people allow me to serve in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. So it was a good good night out for me and my family, and it was just a great time. Good entertainment, good food, and got to ride a tractor for the first time.
Absolutely, sounds like a really great time. I'm glad you got to check that off your bucket list, just to try a tractor for the first time.
That's right. Yeah, thank you.
Yep, sounds like a lot of fun. Well, I want to thank Representative Dane Watrow, as always, for joining us here on Watrow's Weekly Update, and we'll see you next time.
If you're looking for an affordable pre-owned car or truck, Cheers Auto Sales has a great lineup of clean, dependable, and quality vehicles. Stop in at 610 North Broad Street in West Hazleton, 570-454-7229. Cheers is proud to be celebrating 70 years in business. SJ Kowalski is your Mitsubishi Diamond Contractor. They can install a Mitsubishi electric Mr. Slim ductless heating and cooling system. Mr. Slim systems are designed to make any living space in your home inviting. You can have a different temperature control for every room in your home. The money-saving technology can save you 25 to 50% on your heating bill. For Mitsubishi, Rinnai, and trained comfort specialists, call SJ Kowalski at 570-455-2600.
PPW Nation, get ready for the best of PPW Season 2. Join Paul Bowe, E. Julius Kuiper, Alexander Bravado, Tom Mitchell, and Alex Watt as we take you down memory lane and relive some of the best PPW matches of all time. Saturdays at 5 p.m., Sundays at 10 p.m., only on WYLN.
Hey! Did you know WYLN posts news stories and other bonus content on social media all week long? The Weather Kids, Fresh from the Farm, Everyday Heroes, Let's Talk Sports, Feel Good Friday, daily news stories, and more. Visit WYLNTV.com, Facebook, and YouTube to check it out. WYLN, the local leader on social media. We're your local network. Come shoot at Whitetail Preserve, 118 Boulevard Road in Bloomsburg. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicapped accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 or 570-790-8969.
Hi everybody. This week on Let's Talk Chiropractic, I'm inviting Tyree Harris. He has an autistic son. He'll talk about that. He had neck fusion and how chiropractic could be gentle but still effective. So tune in this week.
You're watching WYLN.